to have our final 3 hug again. That was rough, but we did it. Congratulations.
I feel probably even sicker than I feel at the end of every other tribal council. Maggie was my closest ally out here probably, and one of my closest friends in real life. It was an extremely hard boat out. The hardest part about it is that this whole game I've been talking about how people should not take boat outs personally, and Maggie has sort of agreed with me, I guess. I mean, like, I thought that she was on the same page as me. Like, I felt like we both agreed that making things personal just made it too difficult on everybody involved. But when I told Maggie that it was going to be her, I felt like I needed to tell her, and blindsiding her would just feel too slimy to me. When I told Maggie, it was just awful. We were just crying.
Totally fine there.
Yeah, then she would be hurt and pissed.
At least you got a little bit of it out beforehand.
Yeah. No, but I think there's more like anger when you're blindsided.
Oh yeah.
For somebody who takes it personally, you know.
It feels amazing to be in the final 3. It's a little bit bittersweet because Maggie took it so hard, and I know that Maggie's mad at me in particular. And on the one hand, I can't blame her, but on the other hand, we all know that it's just a game, and that's what we've been saying since the beginning. And I hope that she doesn't hold a grudge, beyond the game. So it feels amazing to be in the final 3, but it's just a little sad to see, people take it really hard.
All right, last tree mail.
All right.
Survivor All-Stars. Oh! Okay, here. We can piece it together. We've done puzzles. Yeah. I mean, hopefully everyone's not going to take it too personally. I'm sure some people are still going to be pissed, but hopefully in the end they realize it's just a game. So, you've done these all before, so there won't be a surprise. Learn from your mistakes to avoid potential demise. If you complete the victory lap, you're in the final 2. For the other tribal council, paranoia will again ensue. So, probably a combination of what we've done, I'm guessing, so.
I'm gonna get in the shade while we can.
Yeah, I know.
So fun. I was feeling almost like...
Tribal council's been hell. I have a bad feeling about this one, because like, usually you have some kind of puzzle at the end that I always suck at. So, don't be surprised if I do terrible at this show.
Don't be surprised if I do terrible either, because that's kind of my
Well, I'll just never
MO.
finish it.
All-Stars, and we finished the last half of the last challenge.
Thank you.
Right.
Can we sit people out, because I'll sit out.
I have a final 2 packed with both of the people remaining. I don't think Shandy would go back on that. And I really don't think Darren would go back on it either, but what worries me is that the 2 of them are very close too. So if I don't win immunity, I wouldn't be totally shocked if they send me, whoever wins, send me packing. If I win immunity, I will have to make an extremely difficult decision for the umpteenth time this game. And honestly, right now, I don't know who I would pick.
I know, I feel that Martha gets her shot. It's interesting. I don't think there's really a clear-cut winner at this point.
The nice thing about this final 3 is that both of the other people in the final 3 have promised me final 2. So if they keep their word, then it doesn't matter who wins.
I really want to win, obviously. I've kind of haven't performed up to par these last couple of challenges, so we'll see how it goes. I'll take you. If I win, I'm taking you.
Alright, I'll take you.
Okay, so.
Welcome, Darren, Martha, and Shandy to your final immunity challenge. Shandy, gotta take under your back. Immunity is back up for grabs. In the tradition of Hyco Reality Survivor, the final challenge will be a combination of challenges you've done throughout the day. And because this is All Stars, I can promise you this is the hardest final challenge we've ever done. Here's how it works. You each will stand behind a metal bucket. Inside that bucket is a large, heavy ball. You will use your buff to transport water from the white bucket to the metal bucket until your ball is completely underwater. Once your ball is completely underwater, you will run forward and drop it by your mat. Then what you will do is you will run out and collect all 13 cups with your color on them. You will then stack one tall stack on your stool. You must then throw the ball until you knock over all your cups. Take apart your cups because attached to one of them is a clue, and on the bottom of each cup is a letter. Solve the word. Once the word is solved and I tell you it's good, you may then run to the tree where you will untie the bag in your color. You will then run back and finish the puzzle on your mat. The first person to finish the puzzle on their mat wins the challenge, goes to the final two, and decides who is going with him or her. All right, Shandy, Darren, Martha, this is for immunity. Survivors ready? Go! Burn that ball. This is a long challenge. Pace yourself. Shandy's good. They need a little bit more, Martha. No, not quite. Martha's good. Take the ball with you. Darren's good. Take the ball with you. All 13 cups in a stack. And now you have to knock it over with your ball. Oh, go. Pick it back up. Gotta be faster than the wind. Sandy's down. She's solving. Martha loses some of hers. Darren, try to figure out the best way to do it. Challenge is far from over. The most difficult final puzzle we've ever had. That works, Martha. That works, Darren. Get your pieces. Martha moves on to untying her bags. Dare, not afraid to look over and copy.
Spell it.
Martha has some catching up to do on Shandy. Shandy looking for where that last piece goes. Where did she miss one? Shandy solves her puzzle first. Shandy, congratulations. You have won yourself a spot in the final two. All right, Shandy, you have a very difficult decision ahead of you. You're either going to send Martha or Darren to the jury, and with that decision, you're also going to decide who's going with you to the final two. Grab your bags, we're heading right over to tribal council.
It's such a hard decision because I do have agreements with both of them. I feel like I've played a more strategic game than Darren, perhaps. Like I've been more in the decision-making seat as far as strategy goes. Martha, the thing with Martha is that she's been just as strong strategically. Well, there were moves that I made that she wasn't in on, and then there was the Sigurd vote that was her idea. So I think strategically we could both argue that we played a good game. So it's hard to kind of weigh both options, and like I said, I've promised both of them.
Let's bring in the jury. Connor, Kyle, Michael, Sigrid, Amanda, and Maggie voted out at the last tribal council. Shandy, did you ever think that you'd be heading into the final two immunity necklaces under your belt?
Absolutely not.
So what was it you think that gave you the edge over these other two?
I have no idea. I think, I don't know, I guess I filled the water before them, and so that gave me a head start to go grab the cups, and I was lucky because I got the cups all knocked over on my first try, and then I just went from there.
Martha, the wind wasn't on your side there for a while. How frustrating is it to be in the challenge but ultimately lose?
The losing wasn't as frustrating as the win. It was, I would run to it, I'd stack it back up, and then I'd run back, and it would just blow over, and I don't know how many times I hit it.
That challenge I feel like after winning the first one, I thought, I'd maybe be seen as a threat. In every challenge, I just keep getting worse and worse, so I can't spell, I can't do puzzles, that's not my strong point. So I knew I was kind of screwed, So
Darren, what would be your plea to Shandy? Why should she take you to the final two?
I mean, you look at the jury, and there's a number of them over there that I betrayed. A lot of them are unhappy with me, and I think that'd be a good reason to take me. I think you and Martha probably played for a lot of the games together, so if they view you as two players, then it's a risk. But with me, I definitely burned a lot of bridges in this game, and it's been a very personal season, so I don't know why the tribal council wouldn't be personal.
Martha, what would be your plea to Shandy?
Just the fact that we have a pact to go to the final two.
Shandy, the decision is in your hands. You and you alone will walk over to that confessional, write a name down, come back, and sit down. Are you ready to cast it? Yeah. All right, Shandy, you're up.
Gone back and forth a lot for this vote, and I hope I'm making the right decision. I'm sorry to go back on my word.
go tally the vote. Once the vote has been read, the decision is final. That person will have to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the vote. "14th person voted out of Survivor All-Stars and the final member of our jury, Darren." Darren, I need you to bring me your torch.
One more drop of down.
Darren?
Let's try it again.
The tribe is spoken. Time for you to go. All right, congratulations to you, Martha, and to you, Shandy. You did what 16 All-Stars set out to do. You've made it to the final 2. The power is now out of your hands and now lies in the hands of the 7 members of the jury. Think about what you're going to say to them to convince them that you are in fact the All-Star Survivor. For the last time, grab your torches, head back to camp. I will see you soon.
Coming in 3rd place ain't bad for Survivor All-Stars. Had an amazing time out here. I got to play the game to the best of my ability. I think I played a pretty solid game. It was really fun. I hope that people don't take the game personally because I was just trying to do what's best for me. But I'm not mad. I don't hold any hard feelings towards Shandy. Congratulations to both of them. It was really, I don't know. I don't think there's anything I could have done different. But overall, I just had a really good 3 days, and I'm glad I made it this far in the game.
Made it.
We made it, and I kind of felt a little nervous to say that we've had a pact for Final 2 for a long time, but
no, it was actually really good of you to say, because if I was planning on voting for you anyway, or voting against Darren. But if I had voted against you, then it would have made me look really bad in front of the
I kind of thought about that as soon as I'd said it. I was like, oh.
No, but it's the game. Yeah, that's fine. The agreement that I had with Martha predated the one that I had with Darren by quite a bit. I think that we made that pact pre-merge even. So I did want to stay true to my word, because I think that would make me look really bad to go back on that. And I knew that that Darren wouldn't take it so bad. He he knows that it's nothing personal. Of course he would have liked me to take him, but he gave me a hug right away. It was no big deal. So I think that Darren is a person that, I could even potentially still get his vote after voting him out. So I do think that I made the right choice. Neither of us had very many pre-game relationships.
It's exciting for sure. I'm very excited to be in the Final 2. It's at the same time it is a lot of pressure. It's a lot of nerves and a lot of emotions all over the place. Right now I'm just so happy to have made it this far, and as bad as I feel about the steps I've taken, some of the steps I've taken, I think that the whole game I really think that I was looking out for my best interest in the whole game, and I think that every step I took to get to where I am now ought to be looked at in an objective manner if it can be.
I was always more wishy-washy when I talked to him. My argument to the jury is going to be basically that I came in this game, I was 5th out in my season, and so I came in this game really trying to redeem myself. The thing is that I'm not a super physical person. I'm not a physical threat. I'm not that great in challenges. and that could be something that you could say is not in my favor. But I've really had to work to my strengths, and my strength is my social game, and that's what I've been concentrating on. And I've been able to build relationships with people where I've always been sort of in the center of what's going on, and I've always known what's going on. I've always been in the center of the planning, and I've been able to move back and forth between different alliances and always feel safe. And that is thanks to my social game. So that's the main argument I'm going to make.
Well, I think the fact that Shandy was on a tribe from the start, and her alliances lay on her tribe, and if she had made it to him, if she had been the one to get switched, I don't know how she would have done in that situation. And so that was the first thing that I think I have an edge on. That I was able to work my way up from being completely on the outs, or being an outsider on a tribe that I was one of two in the minority, to becoming a trusted member of a core alliance.
Yeah, that's good. Actually, I think it's going to be a close vote. I really do. I don't think that I'm going to get crushed by Martha, and I don't think that she's going to get crushed by me. And who knows? Like, I could walk away with it with one vote or 0 votes. Who knows? But I kind of feel like it's going to be a little bit more even. So it's still anyone's game.
I've said it before that being in an alliance with Shandy helped me, but it could also be what keeps me from winning.
Coming into the game, I really wanted to work with Chris. That was part of my initial strategy. Right, so it was good that we got her out early.
We're on the same season, and I'm glad we weren't on the same tribe.
Bryce. I still don't know what game he was playing.
Taylor, sorry we had to vote you out. You are just too good at this game.
So I have now been on 2 seasons of Heiko Survivor with Kellen, and I have yet to play with him. We've never been on the same tribe. It was definitely the first of many very difficult votes.
Connor, I have never talked to you.
I actually really wanted to play with Connor, but it was just always so complicated.
Tyson, you were a great member of our tribe, and I'm really sorry you got hurt.
Kyle, this was hard, but it was a power play. We had to get rid of the really, really strong competition.
Michael. We could have gone really far together. I'm sorry we didn't have a chance to finish what we started.
I'm not sorry.
Sigrid.
And then came Sigrid, the craziest boat off ever.
Sigrid, you are the nicest person in the world.
Oh, this one was hard.
Maggie, still crying.
Darren, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You can sleep in my tent anytime. Alright, good luck.
Alright, as the storm rolls in here, let's bring in your final jury. Connor, Kyle, Michael, Sigrid, Amanda, Maggie, and Darren voted out at the last Tribal Council. Congratulations once again to Shandy and Martha for making it to the final two. This is the final Tribal Council to decide the final winner of Heiko Reality Survivor. You each will get a brief opening statement to the jury. They will either ask you a question or make a statement, and then you will get one final rebuttal. Let's do this. Martha, you can start.
Hey guys, I wanted to just begin by saying that I came into this game as insecure and as confident as a person can be at the same time. I felt so like I was in the outs because on my season I never really had a chance to make it to the merge. I didn't feel like anybody really wanted me to stay, and it was really scary for me when I ended up on a tribe with people that I didn't really know at all. And yet I had three main goals, and these goals that as I kept achieving these goals, I became more and more confident that I could make it as far as I wanted to make it. My first goal was to make it past the first vote out, and I did that. I had a huge motivation to win that first challenge, and I used my teeth and I ripped through those knots, and I feel like the first win was partially my responsibility. And then my second goal was to make it farther than I made it the first time, and that was to make the jury. And what happened was that I ended up getting switched right before I would have gotten voted out. I had gotten 10th place again, and I had to scramble to see whatever I could do to get myself farther than I got last time. And so that was when I teamed up with Maggie and Shandy, and I teamed up with Michael and Kyle too, and we voted out Brent. Then we made it to the merge, and I had achieved 2 of my goals. And finally, my third goal was to make it to the final 3. Originally, that was with Maggie and Shandy, and that would have been ideal for me, but it ended up that it was me and Shandy and Darren, and that still worked out for my advantage. So I just wanted to say that as insecure as I felt throughout the game, I managed to achieve the goals that I set out to achieve. I just want you all to respect that.
All right, Shandy, it's your turn.
Alright, on my season I was the 5th person voted out, so I came into this game wanting to redeem myself, but I was really nervous coming into it because I didn't have a lot of the past relationships that some of the other players had. Even on my own season, the people that came back are people that I either never played with during my season or played with for maybe 20 minutes. So I didn't really feel like I could rely on any of that. And also, I came into the game knowing that I am not a physical threat. I'm not a very good challenge winner. But I knew that I just had to concentrate on my strengths and really work towards playing up my strength. And my strength is my social game. And I was able to build relationships with multiple people and build up trust with a lot of different people and play a good strategic game. And I feel like that's what I did, and I was able to maneuver in between different alliances to always move the game into a direction that was best for me. And I feel like that's what got me here.
All right, you've heard from Shandy and Martha, who now has her poncho on as the rain continues. Jury, you each get your chance to ask your question or make a statement. It's going to help you determine who you're going to vote for. We'll start with our first jury member, Connor.
Hey guys, unfortunately I didn't get to play with you, Martha. I would like to say that the idol move, which I think you were the mastermind behind, were you?
I would say I was.
Alright, my favorite Survivor moves of all time, so way to go. Shandy, I have a question for you though. On our original tribe, and you trust me, from playing with you, I know how good a liar you are, which is a compliment for me, so, but from our original tribe, would you have taken what I thought was the final 3 alliance between you, Kyle, and I to the end?
That was never proposed.
I brought it up to you.
You did?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I mean, clearly after that.
No, you guys both intimidated me too much, and I didn't want to end up in the final 3 with you guys, because then I felt like I would have no chance, so.
That's fair.
I probably wouldn't.
Alright, cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Connor. Kyle, you're up next.
Alright, congrats. What you two did, I mean, it's hard. You have to do a lot of lying, you have to do a lot of things to get to the top, so you should be proud of what you did. I mean, good job, both of you. So I have a general question that I want both of you to ask individually, or to answer individually. What were your high point and your low points of the game? I'll start with Martha.
My high point would have to be the idea that I had to flush out both the idols and to get figured out. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best part about it was the idols being gone. My strategy became more and more clear, and I felt like I actually had a chance after I did that. And then my low point, I would have to say I'm not sucking up to you. It was when it was the tribal council that you got out. I really, when I got there, I didn't know who I was voting for, and I wasn't sure what was going on, and I started to pretty much break down, and I think everybody saw that. And my low point is just being seen like that, because I mean, not only did I not want to vote you out since we had an alliance, but I also didn't want to be like so emotional, and I didn't want people to think of me as like weak or not like actually like I didn't want people to think that I was like trying to get sympathy or anything, because that just would, I would hate that if people thought that about me.
So Martha's low point is actually my high point. When you were voted out, we had a plan to vote out Amanda. And in the back of my head, You were like this looming target that I was thinking, like, when are we going to get him out? He's going to start winning immunities. It was awesome to be on your tribe because you could really help us out physically, but then when we come to the merge, you know, then you became a huge target. I was able to get my entire alliance to change their plan at the 11th hour and go with me on this crazy win. And so we made this huge move and got you out. And from that point forward, I felt like I had gained a lot of power personally. So for me, that was probably the high point. And then the low point was our third tribal council where we were so demoralized and got hailed on and had to sit under that tree and go back to camp all soggy wet.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kyle.
Okay, congratulations to both of you. You both played an amazing game. It was just very impressive watching both of you play the game. Martha, my first question is for you. When I got out of this challenge, all before that, I thought we had a very good trust between each other. I thought it was a very honest relationship, honest game. However, one thing we were always talking about how was Final Four was going to be me, Kyle, you, and Maggie. And in your opening speech, you basically said that was not true. So, I mean, that's fine. I just want to know, do you feel you played most of this game as a liar or as an honest person?
That's a very good question because I've been trying to ask myself that same question this whole time. I think I would like to say as an honest person, I tried to be honest and I tried to not deceive people, but if I'm going to be honest now, I would have to say I would say I'm probably more of a liar.
I appreciate, in a sense of irony, that you were honest there. Shandy, I know that one of your greatest, that you feel is your greatest strengths was you were able to work between two alliances. Do you think it was more working between two alliances, or you were able to coast between two alliances because there were always bigger threats instead of you?
I think I was able to work between the two alliances because both of them wanted to work with me because both of them trusted me.
Do you feel that's more just because the numbers were split and you were just the easy swing vote?
I definitely had that advantage that I had no clear pair. And that's what I've been saying going this whole game. I've had no clear pair, and that definitely worked to my advantage.
Okay, thank you very much.
So I'm just gonna let you guys off the hook for now because I want to ask a fun question. So what are you guys gonna do with the cash prize money, I guess?
Honestly, I'll probably just go have a nice meal with a couple of beers. Right now I'm saving up to go to school and stuff, and I need money for my savings account, so that's pretty much all it's going to go to as far as I know.
Thank you.
Good job, ladies. I'm super proud of both of you. I enjoyed playing with you while we were together. Even though you voted me out, I don't hold it against you. So we've talked a little bit about the Kyle vote out, but I really want to know where your lines of reasoning were, especially with our jury members, and how those differentiate from each other. So maybe starting with people that you didn't talk about as much, who did you vote for in that situation, whether you voted them off or didn't, and then what was your reasoning for doing so? Do you guys have a preference for who starts, or?
I can sit. Go ahead. I can sit. Go ahead. I didn't vote out Connor.
Thank you.
I voted for Kyle. I voted for Mike, and that was one time where I did branch off from my original core alliance of Maggie and Martha because they weren't going to vote him out, and I knew that I wasn't in your Final Four plan, so I knew that you needed to. I knew that you needed to be out, so that's why I did that. I also voted against Sigrid. It's just a lot of chaos was in order to get somebody else out, because the only other option at that point would have been either Darren or Martha, and I wanted both of them. I voted against you to take out a very, very strong competitor. And I voted against Maggie because, well, because I know that both of you have said that you wouldn't necessarily take each other in the final two, but I was always worried about that. And I voted you out because I had made my agreement with Martha earlier, and it actually was a really hard decision, and I went back and forth a lot with it, and I think that either one of you would be deserving to be up here, but I had worked more with Martha, and we had a longer standing agreement. So. Okay,
I obviously didn't vote Connor out either. And we went over the Kyle thing, and I didn't vote for Mike. Sigrid, I felt like I needed to take either you or Amanda out as soon as I could because you two were getting to be so close that it was really threatening me. So afraid of all the idols that were circulating around. I hate to have screwed you over like that, but I felt like it was in my best interest. And then Amanda, I voted you out, just because I got more and more scared of you as the game went on. Not in a personality sense, just that you are one of the most likable people I've ever met, and I really don't think. And I know you said this isn't true, but I don't think I would have had a shot against you, and so I felt like I had to do that. And Maggie, we never actually had a Final 2 alliance, Maggie and I. We said we would get to the Final 3 with Shandy, and we would see what happened, because I honestly, Maggie and I never shook on anything with the Final 2. That's right, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, I don't remember.
Okay. Well, I really felt that. I remembered this conversation we had had where you said that if it came down to who you thought you could beat in a tribal council, that you wouldn't necessarily pick me, and I knew that I felt like I had the trust of Darren and Shandy, that I could go with either of them to the Final 2, and even though I've trusted you more than anybody else this game, I felt like it was safer for me to stick with Darren and Shandy.
Thank you, Amanda. Maggie.
All right, I think my first question is, well, first of all, no, what am I doing? Congratulations to both of you. I mean, what a great accomplishment. Yeah, anyway, my first question is for Shandy. So when you were picking Martha for the Final 2, obviously it was brought up that choosing Martha would not go against your alliance with her and obviously make you probably look better among these people. Did that thought not go through your mind when you voted out me? Because, I mean, we've been together since the beginning.
Yeah, it definitely went through my mind. It just came down to the fact that I felt like you guys were closer than I could ever be to either one of you.
Yeah.
So that's why I was willing to break my word at that point.
All right. And, I mean, I don't know that I have a question for you, Martha. I think kudos goes to you for that amazing move to Sigrid. You really saved my butt there. I would have never thought of that. Yeah, great job, guys.
Thank you, Maggie. Last, but not least.
First off, you both have my approval for your games. Job well done, so congratulations. First off, Shandy, there's no hard feelings because I definitely would not have taken you because I think you're a great player. And if you wouldn't have won that Final 4 challenge, I think you might have gone then too, because I definitely was trying to get you out then. So no hard feelings, I would have done the same thing to you. So, I mean, it's a two-way street. But you know, I think, like I said, I think both of you played a really good game. Martha, I think you played an excellent game, but I think to the jury that Shandy should be the winner due to her ability to separate the emotional and the emotional part of the game. I think, Martha, you took a lot of things, you know, you were too emotional about things, which, I mean, it's a game, obviously, but I mean, this is All-Stars. I mean, we knew what we signed up for. And I feel like Shandy did an excellent job with keeping the emotional away from the, you know, the game. You know, otherwise, I hope you wouldn't vote me off if it was an emotional reason. So, I think you did an excellent job there, Shandy. I think you played a spectacular game. Both of you guys did. So, that's all I got.
The jury have made their remarks. Shandy and Martha, you each get one last statement before they vote. Shandy, it's your turn to go first.
All right, so I did vote all of you out with the exception of Connor. But I would ask that you all look at the strategic game that I played and my ability to always adapt and really move the game into the direction that I wanted to. I did feel like I was in control basically the whole game through. And I don't say that to be cocky or anything. I just think that it shows that I played a really good strategic game. So I would hope that you would all think of that when you're casting your votes.
Martha?
I guess I want to touch on what Darren just said. I have been feeling especially nervous about the way I appeared with my emotions this whole game, especially after the merge. And I think anybody who's talked to me about like my strategy in this game is that they would agree that the song I've been singing the whole time is that nothing should be kept personal or taken personally. And I think what was hardest for me was that I didn't want to take anything personally, but I didn't want any of you to take anything I did personally either. And that just really toyed, like everything was just kind of hectic in my head, and sometimes I can't control what comes out of my eyes and nose. So it, honestly, I don't want the fact that I did get emotional to mess with what you might have been thinking after this tribal council or before. So.
Jury, you've heard from Shandy, you've heard from Martha, you grilled them, they gave you their answers. Now it's in your hands. One by one, you'll go to the voting confessional, but you're not voting out one of these two. You're voting for a winner. You're voting for the winner of Survivor Crazy Mountains All-Stars. It is time to vote. Connor, you are first.
The fact that you did show emotion shows that you can play the game the right way, and I can appreciate that. You didn't have my vote for the majority of the tribal council, but I think you deserve it.
Shandy, you played the best game. I think that Martha had the biggest move of the game, but you had a series of very calculated and strategic moves that put you where you were, and for that I applaud you, because I know that for some reason no one was gunning for you the whole time and everyone trusted you, and you're right, that was your main skill and you used it very wisely. So congratulations, you definitely deserve this.
How could I not vote for you? We've been together since the beginning. While it was a shock to me that the reason you voted me out was because we didn't have a final two alliance, quite shocking, but I just couldn't help it. I had to vote for you. Great game.
What can I say? Crazy season. I don't think anyone could have played it as better as you could have. I wish you the best of luck. That was horrible.
I'll go tally votes. Congratulations, final two, jury, all the all-stars that were great enough to come out and do it once, be notable enough to come back to do it twice. You all deserve a big round of applause. This is it. This is our final reading of the vote for Heiko Reality Survivor. In this canister, 7 votes that represent the winner of Survivor All-Stars Crazy Mountains, the title of Sole Survivor, and $150. I'll read the votes. First vote, Shandy. Second vote, Martha. That's 1 vote Shandy, 1 vote Martha. Shandy. That's 2 votes Shandy, 1 vote Martha. Martha. That's 2 votes Martha, 2 votes Shandy. Shandy. That's 3 votes Shandy, 2 votes Martha. The winner of Survivor All-Stars is Shandy. Let's congratulate her and get out of this hail.
Did a great job. Congratulations.
Shandy, we never got to play together. Oh my God. What is that? Good job, Martha.